Okay guys, welcome to another episode of Leaflet tutorials. In today's tutorial, we're going to look at dynamic changing of layer styles. So I know this sounds pretty obvious or a bit simple to some of you. But basically looking at the previous video that we had, when it comes to dealing with styles, sometimes it could be something that basically can be sometimes confusing. So I want just to do quite a number of things with the styles here so that you can actually know how to go about it. So if you look at this layer called towns, if you look at the map that displays this map, you'll see that basically these markers are nowhere in terms of my definitions or in terms of being showcased on my map, but I've not defined any style, but you can see these kind of markers. So we can change this style a bit, and what I want to focus on is that you might have, or you might want to have a marker that, for example, it's a circle or another type of marker, and from there, if someone clicks on it, you want to change the color. If someone deselects it, maybe it should go back to default. So I want to go through that part within Leaflet into how you can do it efficiently and without much code. So here you see that there are two brackets here. So these are basically options that go into this part within a GeoJSON layer in a Leaflet, but at the moment it's empty. So what I want us to do, I want us to define a layer style. Let me just call it layer style, like that. So in this layer style, I'm going to define quite a number of things. One, I'm going to define a default option, or basically this is the default style that will be loaded when the marker or when the map loads. So I'm going to call it default. And if you've worked with the styles before, you notice that there are quite a number of options that you can use. For example, you can have color, which I can say maybe I want this to be green. I want this to be green. Remember, I can just do this, or I can give the code to this color, which is basically following the RGB convention. I can have a hash, then it's 0, then 0. So RGB, so G is this will be basically be green color. Alternative, you can just try the name green in there. I can say maybe I want something like what else do we place? Maybe we can have fill opacity, which basically I can place at 0.4, for example. I can add something like weight. Let me see, weight like that, which I can maybe say I want 2. So this is basically the definition of the default component, or the default. These are the options that will be loaded if you choose the default option. Then I can place a comma and then have another option. I can call these maybe highlighted, something like that. Then I open the brackets. Then again, I can just duplicate what is here, but this one I can maybe change the color. I can say maybe 00F. So when you highlight this specific object or feature, it will basically be highlighted in blue. The default one is green, so this is blue. Then I can have another one. What have I done? Okay, I can have another option, which I can say or I can call deselected, something like that. Yes. Then open. Then I can just paste everything there. So deselected, if it's so we can have the default, which is basically what is when you select, sorry, when you load the features on the map. The highlight, when maybe you move your cursor on top of the the circle or the icon or something of the sort. And then we can have actually not even deselected, we can call it selection. So this is when someone, for example, has clicked on it or has selected that specific feature. So we can, so this is green, this is blue, we can maybe call it brown, something like that. So this is a definition of the 3 modes of styles. Remember, you can have as many options as you require for your map. So we can work with those 3. So here, because this is a point layer, so let's add the options of, we can start, so here we need to add 2 options. So the first one is, it's point to layer, which basically is a function. So here we're going to write, so we want to draw circles. So we have functions, and here we'll have to lat lng. This is from the official, this is from the official documentation for Leaflet. So this one you can, so we want to return a marker here, or basically a circle. So L dot circle marker there, and within this circle marker we need to give it the lat long, which is the location where the user will click. Then here we can give an option such as radius of maybe 12. Can make it them a bit bigger, and yes, we can just have that, so that will be sufficient. So here we have that. Then the second option that we need to give is basically the style, and the style here we're going to reference to the default option. So we are going to have layer style dot default there. So with this, now point to layer, the function that the marker, and then we load the options. Yes, so let's see. Right, so there we have your points. So I can see green is not such a good color in this map, so we can always maybe change this to, which color we, let me just use purple, something like that. So we have the points there. Okay, so now these points we want in such a way that if you hover this cursor over a point, then we need to see a different color, and if someone clicks on a point, then we need to see a different color. So to do that, now that we have these 3 options, this is basically blue and this is brown. So from here you are going, so maybe this one we can change it to green. Okay, so now here within the layer there's usually some events. So we have the click event, we have the mouse over, mouse out. So you can utilize these options to basically have the data or the points changed into the different modes based on what you need. So here I can say, so because what usually happens, you are clicking on an individual point, you're not clicking on the entire layer. So you're clicking on a specific feature. So we need to do this inside a feature within the towns layer. So to do that, I'll on each feature like that. So we have a function here. So here we can have a function that we call, we have one argument, which is basically, so here we can have two arguments, so the feature and the layer. So there you have it. Okay, so here you could probably check some elements, but because we are not basically looking at each of the we are looking at, we want when someone clicks on a feature, that when basically the point or the colors should be changed. So we are going, because there's no an option of methods having like a click event on a specific, on this, on each feature basically runs these on an individual feature, but there are those methods that are layer wise. So here we're going to do layer on. So for example, we want to say that if someone clicks a point that when that specific sorry, this should be a quote. Yes, so on a click, this is where we want to run a function, or we want to basically check the color and set a new style which is above here on that specific feature. So it will be layer on click, then we'll have a function. Cannot type a function, and then here we are going to say layer, or basically there are quite a number of options within JavaScript or within the library which you can do. So instead of layer, you can even have this dot set. So there's usually a method for set style, and here we are going to define set style. So this is on click, so set style, and then we can have, so the selection which is green in color, so that dot selection. So there you've already clicked on that feature. Then we can duplicate or we can implement the other options, which is basically there's another method of mouse over. So mouse over is basically when the cursor is passing on top of a point. So here I'll just basically go to highlighted. So I'll use this option which is here, and then I want the moment this you hover and the mouse is out, which is basically mouse out, then this should go back to default. All right, or default, not default. Okay, so there you are. So you have three methods or three events. So here the first one, but this is happening on each feature. So you click, you get this style, you hover, then or mouse over, you get highlighted, you mouse out, and it goes back to default. So this, even without writing so much, this should basically work as we need it to. So let's test it out. Okay, so look at that. So I'll just basically, when I put my cursor on top like this, so everything is being highlighted in blue, and if I click it like this, then it's green in color. Okay, look at that. The moment my cursor moves, everything goes, and that's how basically you're able to change or to have your different options or styles for your layer. Remember, as I said, you can add as many options as you require, and you can also have multiple modes of the styles. Remember, this is just for the example, but you could have sizes, you can have different sizes, you can have different colors, you can have different weights, styles, opacity, and all that. And that is all that you can do in this part. So that's it, guys, for today's tutorial. Cheers. Remember to subscribe to my channel, so whenever there's a new video, you'll be the first to be notified, and you follow along. Cheers, guys, and have fun. Okay, so this is where our options should go into. So here we can just so for points are a bit different. So what we can do, because all these styles that we've defined here, I didn't actually consider it's the aspect of having the layers and all that. So sorry, the points. So here I could just add things like so for circles, because if we wanted to change the markers from the current markers to the points, so here we can just add an option. We can just quote that, so that, and then we can give it a radius. Maybe we can give it 8 comma. So this one, because I want them to be same size, I can just do this, replicate that there. All right, there you are. So so from here, so we just need to add the option here. So this is a point. So remember, I hope you understand the difference between having styles for a point, a line, and a polygon within our leaflet. So because this is a point layer, so we have to point to layer. So here we can just return sorry, we have a function here that basically adds a point or that specific circle to a feature. So here we'll have 2 arguments, and so remember, this is I'm not doing anything new here. This is usually even within the leaflet documentation, you'll find that one there. So the only difference is here. So here we'll return because it's a circle, so we return a circle marker like that, and here we want it to be displayed at a specific, or the clicked latitude, longitude, or specific location where the user has clicked. Then after this lat long, now we can give an option that is specifically here. So we can say layer style dot default. So what this will do, it will basically load the styles or the default style, radius 8, color, opacity, and weight, to be basically what this circle will be assigned to. So let's have a look. So if I go to my map, I refresh the page. I don't know what is happening. This is a circle marker feature that's point to layer. This one, there you have it. Okay, a moment.